everybody, how do you do? How do you do, everybody, how do you do? Oh, you come to gym for fun and we'll get you on.
Hi, my name's Simon. Welcome to the Little Gym at Home. Today I'm going to be taking you through a class which is one of my favourite age groups, and this is really exciting because you can see the changes happening before your very eyes, and you might have seen a change from your child last week just to this week. Now I want you to forget about all the crazy that's going on outside, bring it inside your house, and you're going to immerse yourself in the class that I'm about to teach you right now. And now we're going to do some passive resistance exercises, and this is where we're going to use your child's own body and their resistance to build good muscle growth. So the first one is we're going to do the chest stretch, and this is where you're going to cross their arms across their chest and then open them. Now where you want to support them is anywhere above the elbows, because this is the most fragile bit. So we support them above the elbows, we open and close. So if you want to watch with me, we're going to go, we close them and we're going to open and close. Open and close, and we'll do this to 5. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you've done those. Now we're going to do the next one. Now these are going to be the arm raises, so we're going to get them above their heads, and again same spot above the elbows, and we're going to lift our arms up and back down. But you're going to do this, I've got Chewy, you can do it obviously on your baby. You're going to up and down, and we'll do this again to 5. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we've been really working on and warming up this upper body. Now we're going to go to the lower body. With all of these exercises, if you've ever been in a little gym class before, you'll realize that this age group, it's not just about your baby. It's just as much importance is about how confident you are with what your baby's able to do. And some of these range of movements are brand new to them, and we are introducing them to them now. So the more confident we can make you, the more you'll get out of it. Now, let's move on to the legs. Now, what I want you to do, grab your little one's legs. Again, I've got Chewy here, and we're going to start off with double knee bends. So you're going to push, basically, from around their shins, push their knees into their tummy. Now, this is like what I would call the constipation move. So you're really going to help them with any of that trap wind. You're like, Chewy, go for it. Choo! And you're going to go push them in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to move on and we're going to do single knee bends. So like you're cycling a bike or you're running, and you can get nice and quick with them. In and out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this is one of their favorites. So you're going to take both their legs this time, and you can do some straddle splits, and you can almost do peekaboos with them. So you peekaboo, peekaboo, and again, have some fun as you're doing this and really see if you can get a big giggle out of them. So last one. And then last one we're going to do is toes to nose. So you're going to grab again their legs. This time, bring their toes up. If you're feeling a lot of resistance, just go as far as you're happy with. But we're going to see if you can bring their toes up to their nose. And you ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And Chewy is done. Okay, we're going to do the warm-up next. You're going to need a clear space and a sofa. If you need to get yourself in a position, do that now. I'm going to use Pikachu for these next exercises. Rough night, pink cheeks, teething. If your little one's feeling the same way, don't worry, I totally understand. Now let's get ready to go.
Belly line, crawl, or assisted walking, please.
So we're going to start with tummy time. So get Pikachu on the floor, see if you can bang in front of him, get him to lift his head up, really work on that spine strength. For the ones who are a little bit older, you can do some assisted standing, you can do some crawling, see if you can get them moving, or you could even move up and do some assisted walking. And all you need to do, spot them under the armpits to help them just keep their balance as they walk.
Please, jump.
Okay, next one, jumping. So we're going to jump them up. The main thing we're looking for is actually when they land on their feet, that we get that nice bend in their knees, jumping back up, come down, give them plenty of time. Go Pikachu, all the way up and back down. If you want to turn them around, maintain eye contact with them, see that smile, you can go up, high, and back down.
Galloping sack of potatoes.
Okay, so this one I'm going to do by standing up. So we're going to step and slide. Again, got them under my arm. For this one, it's again getting them to look up, really working on that neck, the shoulders and the spine as I gallop left and right. If you've got a bigger space, you go for it. You can gallop from left to right as we go.
Belly line
Now,
crawling.
what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the sofa, and for this one, we're going to get them up here. Again, because we've got them a bit higher up, I can get them to really look up at me this time, really work on that one. If I want to really make them work a little bit harder, I can bring them to the edge of the sofa, just support them around the upper torso. Now they've really got to work on lifting that head up. Go Pikachu. Okay, now moving on, next exercise.
Belly line crawl.
We're going to do the wheelbarrow. So for this one, hands on the side of the sofa, we're just going to lift them legs up, get them to weight bear down through their arms, producing nice, good, strong bones in their arms as we lift them up. Ee-yaw! Back down. Obviously the ee-yaw is the most important part of this. Ee-yaw! And back down. Now getting ready for the next skill, we're going to stand them on the edge of the sofa here, and we get them to balance or jump. So starting off, just getting to balance. It's a bit more narrow, it's a bit like a balance beam. Once they've got there, if they're starting to lose a bit of interest, you can jump them and bounce them up and down as well. Again, working on all those leg muscles down through into their feet as they're jumping up and down. Now I'm going to turn them around again. Hi Pikachu.
Galloping.
Great jumping.
Potato.
And then finally, that little step and slide, like we're on a balance beam, step and slide sideways. And then you can go the other way, taking the leading leg, step and slide, step and slide, step and slide, as they go all the way along the sofa. How are you doing? If you're doing this at home, you're doing great stuff. Well done. Okay, for our next set of skills, we're going to use the stairs. So if you need to get yourself in a position that you can do this, go and do that now. And we're going to look at the different progression steps you can do with your little one. So if we start with our youngest, I'm using the Gruffalo now, we're going to look at something called object permanence. And this is where it's kind of an out of sight, out of mind. And in the earliest experiences they have, they need to start understanding that just because they can't see you doesn't mean you're not there. So we're going to start off with a scarf, could be a tea towel for you. I'm going to put it over their face and play some little peekaboos with them. So it's going to be peekaboo, and you can do it again, peekaboo, get them really giggling and smiling, and then you can do it for yourself. You'll put it over your face, you can come really close, see if you can get them to actually reach out and grasp it and pull it off, and that's great for those finer motor skills. If they can't, you can just blow it off or pull it off yourself. The second skill, you can get them cruising or standing at the bottom of the steps, nice weight bearing through their legs, holding on nice and tight. And then for some of the older ones, you can start to see if you can get them to crawl up. You can put your hands under their pads of their feet so they can feel the pressure, so they can start to do that, or just under their knees so they bend their knees. Get them to crawl up, give them any help if they need it, and then on the way down, you want to come on their tummy all the way back down so they know it's nice and safe, and they'll learn this as they get older, and they come all the way back down to the floor, back to that weight bearing position. The next skill we're going to do is going to be forward rolls. I'm going to show you 3 different variations of this, from the lowest progression all the way to the top one for this age group. Hopefully by the end of this you'll be doing them as well. Now the forward rolls have many benefits, and one of the big ones is going to be balance. So as I do this, I'll talk you through it. So the first bit is a nice wide stance, a big straddle. You're going to support them around the waist, learn all the way through your legs. Make sure you keep a nice straight back as you do this. Tuck their heads in and let them roll. You can pick them up with the hands, either back up to a seated or up to standing if they can weight bear on their legs. The next one I'm going to show you is from the front. So we'll do this again. So again, nice big wide straddle, support them around the waist, all the way down. Chewy goes through the legs, head's tucked in, he comes back down, and then all the way back up. Okay, our second forward roll we're going to do is, you're going to get your little one, if you can stand them up or have them hip to hip, get them like a little rugby ball, and you're just going to have them under your arm. You're going to sing them a little song, so hands high, touch the sky, hands down, touch ground. You've got your spare hand, you can tuck their head in, get them to roll all the way over, and then back up to that seated position. So let's do that one again. So into that rugby ball position, hands high, touch the sky, hands down, touch ground, spare hand. Look at your tummy and roll, just like that. Okay, our last progression in our forward roll for this age group is actually getting them to start on their feet, and we're going to see if we can kind of get them to put their own hands down just by singing them the song. So we're going to start off with this one. It goes, hands high, touch the sky, hands down, touch the ground. And all I'm doing is providing a little bit of support. Once they get into this downward dog position, you just need to lift them in the hips, tuck their head in, and roll, and then all the way back up to a standing position. Now we're going to do one more, so you can do it with me again. So are you ready? You're going to go hands high, touch the sky, hands down, touch the ground, look at your tummy, and roll. And then back up to that standing position again. For our third activity, we've got a lovely little sensory area sort of set up for you. Now you can do this at home. You can come up with all sorts of different colours and different ideas. Now we've got on the floor here some of these little frisbees that we use at the little gym. But if you haven't got these, you can use books, and I'll show you how and what we're going to use them for in a second. So I've got now the Gruffalo with me. We're going to start off looking at the senses of our feet and also our visual sense as well as we work our way through some pathways. So we're going to start off over here on our green one, and we can start off with colours. So as we're going across, we're going to support them just around their torso, just around there, under their armpits, and we're going to see if we can step across the colours. So we've got green and orange and blue and purple and yellow and orange and red. Now, as we come back, we can even jump on these. So we can jump across. So we're going to go green and orange and blue and purple and yellow and orange and red. And again, they're starting to get all of that information. It's coming through both through their feet, but also visually through their eyes. And colours are something that they have to learn. So as we're going through this program, it's three-dimensional. It's not just about the physical side, it's also about the mental side. And if you're working with a partner at home today, you can swap over as you're doing this, and they're getting that social experience as well. So let's remember, as we're going across, we've been jumping, we've been walking, now we're going to step and slide. So we're going to step and slide across the colours. So orange and blue. Are you ready? And step and slide across the purple one. Step and slide across the yellow one. Step and slide across the orange one. And step and slide across the red one. Now, we're going to get set up for our next activity. Now, let's have a think about what we can do. Now, the Gruffalo's tired. Your little one might be tired as well. If you need to pause, come back and have a go in a minute. Don't you worry. But I'm going to switch out for Pikachu. Now, we're going to see what happens if we change the shape of this pathway and how that has an effect on them. So you can give them a second, let them stand on it, see what they think. Now the natural thing is to go straight forwards. Now we want to see if they're going to actually take the pathway and take a bit of a zigzag. So we're going to again help them step across the pathway. Now we're doing a zigzag as we go over. And again, you can go and walk across it. We can jump across it. And again, you can mention the colours as you go. If you want to, you can use numbers. So we're bringing in some counting as well as we're jumping. And then you can step across it and step and slide. Just taking that leading leg as we do. Step and slide all the way across. Now for our next exercise. Okay, let's switch them back out. Let's get the Gruffalo. I think Pikachu's getting a bit tired. We're going to actually remove some of our frisbees. Now we've got a pathway that has gaps, so we're starting to get different levels. Now again, if you're using books at home, you can do the same. If your child's a little bolder, maybe you can even build up to those levels, so there's different heights as you're going across. So we're going to see if we can step down, and then we're going to step up. Again, give them plenty of time. Be really patient with them. Just hold them again under the armpits. You may find they just stand there and stare at it for a little while. Don't worry about that. Just give them lots of time, lots of patience, and just give them a little bit of assistance to get up and down. And do this and repeat it time and time again, because repetition is how they learn best. So that's what we've got with those so far. So let's have a think of what we can do next. So we've been really looking at how we use our senses through our feet. Let's have a look at what happens if we spin them, and the kind of interest, what happens if we spin our little ones in front of them. And again, find any type of thing that you've got around the house. If you can't find something to spin, don't worry, maybe you've got something that you can then roll, and you can roll in front of them. Now, as you're doing this, what you're probably seeing for the youngest ones is their eyes are tracking the object as they go past. For the older ones, you may even see some hand-eye coordination coming out, and they're trying to reach for the objects. Now, again, you can do the same with a bit of tummy time, allow them to be on their fronts. They can reach out and see if they can grasp these little objects as they're going. Or again, for the older ones, if you're rolling it away from them, they can then crawl after it. So there's lots of different ideas you can do while playing, doing these little sensory ones on the floor here with your little ones. So have a go and see how you get on. Hi there, now we're going to do our ball activity. Now I'm going to use this large ball. This is just to really show off the range of motion, but you can use any shape, size of ball that you've got at home. So if you want to go and get that now, and then we'll start straight away. So the first thing we'll do is going to place Chewy on top of the ball, on his tummy. Again, working on the spine strength, his neck, his shoulder, but also on depth perception as he comes forward and he sees the floor, and also his sense of touch in his feet as he comes to the other side. So we're going to rock them backwards and forwards. Again, also helping balance as we do this, and we're going to sing a little song to really help them just to combine the two together. So the first one is going to be slowly, slowly. So we're going to go slowly, slowly, very slowly goes the garden snail. Slowly, 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 slowly on the wooden rail. Now we're going to switch him round. He's going to sit on top of the ball. He's going to work on hip flexors, and you'll see this with your little one while they're sitting on there. You can support them around the waist, and also obviously on their core and their balance as having to adjust themselves on this really uneven surface as they're doing. Now we're going to go quickly this time, and it's going to be a little mouse. But don't worry, if you haven't got it so far, we're going to run through this again so you get the whole singing bit again as well. So we're going to go now. Quickly, quickly, very quickly goes the little mouse. Quickly, quickly, very quickly, straight into the house. Have you got it so far? Right, shall we go back? Now we're going to go back onto their tummy again. Now remember, as they come forwards, you might find they're even reaching their hands down to actually break their fall. So that's a really important bit as they're starting to develop. So we're going to go slowly, slowly, very slowly goes the garden snail. Slowly, slowly, very slowly on the wooden rail. And then back up, sitting back on top. You ready? Quickly, quickly, very quickly goes the little mouse. Quickly, quickly, very quickly, straight into the house. Woohoo! There you go. Now we're going to do our bubbles next. Now I've got Pikachu here. If you've got a bubble machine at home, go and grab it now. And what we're going to do is we're going to sing a little bubble song. Now you'll notice your little ones will just be tracking the bubbles through the sky with their eyes. For your older ones, they'll start to bring in a bit of hand-eye coordination and try and pop them with their fingers. And that's one of those little developmental stages you'll start to see them do over the course of the next couple of weeks. So let's get going. This is all about a little frog called Tiny Tim. Are you ready? I have a little frog, his name is Tiny Tim. I put him in the bathtub to see if he could swim. He swallowed all the water, he gobbled all the soap, and when he tried to speak, he had a bubble in his throat. Go pop, 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 pop. Hey, now, I've been Simon, you've been watching The Little Gym at Home. Thanks for watching.
It's time to say